So normally, every time we start this show, normally, if you've watched all of them, the guest comes in and we greet the guest at the door and then we sit down and talk. But seeing that this is such a special interview and my guest is old, we started with him already sitting down because he couldn't really walk in and we do the thing.
You didn't do it like I asked. I said, you walking towards me because I'm the boss now. So I want to be different than what you normally do.
And the oldest too, right?
Not quite.
Camera speed, marker.
Today, the one and only Micheal Jordan joins me for a walk down memory lane.
Come on, man. Let's get this show started. Hey, got it.
Okay, ready?
How do you describe Micheal Jordan?
Around the North Carolina.
Mission control, ready for launch.
Champion, winner.
Jordan on the drive, falls down underneath.
An unbelievable move! He put it in and it counts! Oh, here comes Mr. Jordan is right.
To describe MJ,
And a shot on Elo.
one word would be greatness.
A spectacular move! Holy cow!
Look at the air, look at the hang time, look at the flying motion. Is it the shoes?
No, Mom.
Michael falls, fire. Yeah! Does it again!
I would describe Micheal Jordan as the GOAT, greatest of all time.
The ball to the world champs again!
Do you think you'll ever find some time to finally just look back at all the things you've done?
I get there. May have to be 50 years old, but I get there.
It's MJ as you've never heard him before on this special edition of One-on-One with Ahmad Rashad.
They used to say when you came out of college that the only person that could hold you to 20 points was Dean Smith. What was that about?
At 50, I don't remember.
It's gonna be like that.
In 1982, not many people knew about a skinny freshman at North Carolina. But it was this moment when people began to take notice of Mike Jordan.
Jordan, North Carolina has won the 1982 NCAA championship.
After 2 more seasons in Chapel Hill,
Jordan, look at that!
Jordan became the 3rd overall pick in the 1984 draft. And when he took that leap, he felt something that stayed with him his entire career: the need to prove himself.
It was a new beginning once I got to Chicago. I mean, I've been in college. You know, my name changed from Mike Jordan to Micheal Jordan. And, you know, now I was on a bigger stage. It was the highest level of basketball, and yet I was the lowest on the totem pole. And if I ever wanted to be considered the best basketball player that I can be, I had to work my way up that ladder.
Rebound taken down by Steve Johnson up to Michael Jordan. Oh, God! An unbelievable move! He put it in and it counts!
And right from the start, we couldn't believe what we were seeing.
Jordan, tongue out! Did it! Wow! Oh, watch this. Oh, yeah.
Michael, is there anything at all that has surprised you in your early games in the NBA?
Oh, showtime for Mr. Jordan!
I'm surprised at how fast I'm picking up the game.
Chicago had its very own superhero.
Here's Jordan down the middle, all the way! And Captain Marvel comes back again, up, 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 and away!
Now, a lot of people don't remember the first nickname, Captain Marvel. I'm glad that didn't stick.
Michael Jordan came down, turned into Captain Marvel again.
It just didn't seem right. Captain sounds like I'm at top of the league, and I consider myself bottom, you know, at that time. I'm walking into an arena playing against the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and you call out Captain Marvel, puts a big dot on my back. I said, no, you got to come up with something else.
Air Jordan would come in time, but in his 2nd season, MJ was grounded by an injury until the playoffs when he returned just in time to face the Boston Celtics.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
Even at a young age, Jordan understood that he had to go to greater lengths to gain an advantage over NBA royalty.
Danny Ainge said that between games 1 and 2, you guys played golf, and you warned him to tell Dennis Johnson to get ready for a beatdown the next game. Did that happen?
I played with him and Kevin Micheal, and they were trash talkers.
Because when I went to get it with this hand came out. Oh, get out of here. You double dribbled the ball.
So, you know, when we get on the golf course, they talk a lot of trash. And, you know, obviously DJ was an all-star. He was known for his defense, which for me, that was a great challenge.
Right.
So as they were joking about sweeping us and kicking our butts and blah, 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 you know, I kindly say, hey, you better tell DJ that, you know, it's going to be a hard day for him the next day.
That was an understatement. MJ went out and set a playoff record that still stands today.
Micheal Jordan right now taking the tempo away from the Celtics. What a great shot, and a basket and a foul. You talk about birds, sheer determination. Micheal Jordan has those same qualities. Jordan hits. 58 for Micheal Jordan.
Michael on the drive across the lane, turnaround shot, got it! 63 for Jordan! A new NBA record has been set in the Boston Garden.
I didn't win the game. I'd much rather score less and win the game than lose the game and score 63 points.
Larry Bird talks about that game like it was the new coming of Jesus or something.
He paid me the highest compliment, and you know, I think that was very gratifying that I earned Larry Bird's respect.
In his first 4 seasons, Jordan wouldn't make it past the conference semifinals. And in 1989, he and the 6-seeded Bulls faced an opening round challenge against a tough 3rd seed, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
During the course of the year, Cleveland beat us every game. So everybody predicted us to get swept. I mean, even the city of Chicago, they didn't think we were going to win. You know, and that's okay. I mean, to me, that was okay because we had nothing to lose from that point on.
But did that give you motivation?
Without a doubt, it
Yeah.
did. You know, it was an opportunity that, okay, we can change the whole mentality within Chicago by beating Cleveland. And after the first game, I knew we had a chance.
Jordan at the top of the key, to the line, to the lane, throws it up, good off the glass.
When we got to game 5, it was like we already proved a point to the city, to the media, to everybody that, you know, it wasn't going to be a sweep. Now let's go out and win this thing.
The Bulls trailed by 1 point with 3 seconds left. What came next is known simply as the shot.
The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win it! They win it! That's the Cleveland Cavaliers!
It never looked like there was any doubt, but not if you asked Michael.
I mean, I can't really sit here and tell you it felt like I was going to make the shot. And when it went in, I mean, that's probably the most energetic I've ever been, you know, hitting one shot that I can remember. And it just started everything for the city of Chicago.
Jordan rules. Is that something you guys made up?
On the switch, Jordan. No easy layups when you get to this point of the playoffs. And Rodman gave Jordan the shot.
Jordan rule? No, I don't know what that is.
Jordan rules. Is that what they call it? Yeah.
They call it the Jordan rules. But it was more of a physical challenge or a mental hurdle? Which one would you say it was more? The
both.
Physical?
Both. It was both.
For 3 consecutive years, Chicago ran up against Detroit in the playoffs. And each time, the Pistons were the tougher team.
They like to junk up the game. They like to beat you down, hard fouls. If they played today, they'd be, you know, flagrant 2s.
Rebound Jordan, and Mahorn took Jordan down.
I was beat down because of the physicality of what was happening within the game, you know, and I didn't have it to compete with them.
Micheal Jordan went down and he is grimacing in pain.
That's when I really started to physically build my body up and gear myself up for that type of beating.
Easy.
From that year on, I got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger because that became as important as anything else.
But in 1991, Jordan was ready for the Pistons, and he would not be denied. It was a sweep, but the games themselves aren't as memorable as the way the series ended.
The Chicago Bulls are headed to the NBA Finals. As time runs down, Pistons wasting no time in getting out of here. They left the bench, although there's 7 and 9/10 seconds remaining. The Pistons just left.
When you guys got past the Pistons and they had an early exit from Game 4, did you take that personally?
No. Get your up, you can walk out of the building any way you want. You know, the point is that To us, it was gratifying. We beat them so bad that they didn't want to shake our hands. That, to me, was, that was an accomplishment. What happened was we just got past that hump, and we never looked back.
For the Chicago Bulls, this is their first ever appearance in the finals. For the Los Angeles Lakers, it is their 9th trip to the championship round in the last 12 years.
This is all I've been working up for, is an opportunity to play against what everybody considered to be the best. It was Magic Johnson. His team, the mighty, mighty Lakers at the time, were one of the powerhouses in the 80s. And now we're starting the 90s. So if you're going to make a statement, you make a statement against the best.
That statement came in Game 2.
A spectacular move by Micheal Jordan.
He goes wherever he wants to on the basketball floor. That's how good he is.
It became known fittingly as the move, but MJ remembers it for a different reason.
When I did that, Byron Scott said we were showboating at the end of the game. That, we were winning and then, we showboating, and I never looked at it that way, but he did, and we never thought we could lose after that.
And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
When you finally won the championship, the emotional images of you cradling the trophy while sitting with your dad were just an unforgettable image. Can you describe or talk about what you were feeling at that particular time?
Yeah, it's hard to describe, even though, you have so much time, like 20-some years to reflect on it. And the thing is that it was like everything that I worked for has got me to this point. My father understood that. He's seen the pain, he's seen the levels of effort that we put into this. And now we're at the top. We're at the top in the NBA. And now everybody says, well, they were lucky. They were lucky the first time. Now do it again. Maybe they wasn't lucky. Do it again. But this team is not bad, And the mentality of your leader, starting with Phil, getting to me, getting to Scotty, and then to the rest of the team was, okay, let's find a way to stay up top. That means we got to go this extra mile. We got to go a little harder. We got to go a little longer. You got to really kill teams. Send a message, send a sense of fear to whoever come in that building. We don't mess around. When you come in, you're 10 points down.
Jordan. Oh, yeah. Where did he go?
All those things, we were trying to send that message.
This place is going crazy, Red. You got it.
Jordan for three. He is hot. Woo!
That was the dominance of what the Bulls represented in 91, 92, and 93.
The Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the second straight season.
Initially, it was saying, okay, we're on top. We can laugh, we can joke, but we're going to work hard. We're going to still do everything we want. And we're going to still win.
Michael will take it. He's fouled. He scored. He threw it up. Off balance and went in. Oh, my.
Until you knock us off, we're still the best.
The Chicago Bulls have won 3 straight NBA championships.
You're gonna get it, man. You're gonna get it, man. Yeah. That's what bringing me into this world.
Today it is with regret that I advise you that a body located in Bennettsville, South Carolina has been positively identified as the body of Mr. James Jordan.
The murder of his father was devastating, and it came at a time when Michael's career was at a crossroads.
Before my father passed, I was thinking about quitting anyway. Not quitting, but retiring, because I just kind of lost my motivation, for the game of basketball. When you get to the, top of the hill, you always seem to find some motivation to keep you at that hill.
Right.
I lost all that. The purity of what the game represented, I lost. I always said that if I lose that, then it's time for me to walk away from the game.
It's hard to imagine Micheal Jordan not being motivated to play basketball, and the tragedy set in motion a plan discussed by a son and his father.
So my father and I, we already talked about retiring and then trying to play baseball. And then, when he passed, it just, it was like, okay, I got my last direction from my father. Now, okay, let's focus on playing baseball.
Everyone knows exactly what the circumstances are right now in terms of my decision not to play the game of basketball. When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
What was it that brought you back to the game?
If baseball didn't have the strike, I would have still been playing baseball at that time. And when I got back home, I was kind of inactive. I was really bored. So I went to the practice and I saw Scotty, I saw Phil, and saw all the old guys. That's when Scotty started to work on me. Hey, man, what else you doing? Come on back, let's play. Nah, man, well, come practice with us. And once I got out there and started practicing, that's when I felt like, okay, it's starting to come back. Here comes that love, here comes the competition, here comes that drive.
The economy has produced 6.1 million jobs since I became president. And if Micheal Jordan goes back to the Bulls, it'll be 6,100,001 new jobs.
I remember the night that you called me to say that you were going back to play. Didn't we drive up together to Indianapolis?
Traffic may be long today. I was nervous.
Yeah, I can remember that part, which I'd never seen you nervous before.
Not that nervous. My mind was going a lot of different places, and I didn't know if my body was capable of following.
I got to work on weaknesses of how to be a leader on my team. I got to work on weaknesses of my game.
That was the nervousness. Can I do what my mind wants me to do physically?
Micheal Jordan makes his return here at Market Square Arena. Oh, Jordan swept it from Smith. Micheal Jordan with the steal. Jordan away.
It looked like Micheal was ready to jump over him if he had it. Micheal realizes things are just not very smooth at the offensive end.
All right, Micheal, you got one under your belt. How does it feel?
Well, as you see, my timing was a little bit off today. I mean, I was just trying to get my rhythm back. And I know it's not going to happen in one game, but I really got to take my time and try to work my way back in.
It took MJ a little while to feel comfortable again on the court. 5 games to be exact. That's when he came to Madison Square Garden and put on a performance we will never forget.
And here's the post-up by Jordan. Off the spin. Micheal Jordan has the jump shot falling here tonight.
My game was always on stage in New York.
Did you ask, is he back?
Micheal Jordan with 49 points.
In Madison Square Garden. If you can play, they're going to respect it. If you can't play, they're going to let you know.
That is a high for the NBA this season. 55 points by Micheal Jordan.
So I was always nervous when I played in Madison Square Garden, more so than any other building that I played.
That's the record of the most points scored against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden.
After falling short of reaching the finals that year,
It's all over and the Bulls' season comes to an end.
Jordan had a full summer to get back in shape and start another legendary run.
Tell me about the 96 Bulls that won 72 games and is arguably one of the greatest teams in NBA history.
I think that was the best team I've ever played on.
You need to get some ball players involved in our offense, and you're going to do that by executing.
It was Phil and his coaching to manage these 3 totally different egos.
I remember you used to tell me different things that you do at practice. You go, hey, man, you won't believe this. Today we had to sit there and close our eyes and look around.
It became more of a mental thing with him. Here you got a guy, myself, who day in and day out, living and breathing the game of basketball, to a guy, Scotty, who got his own different personality. to a guy who was totally off the wall. That's his strength of his coaching.
To be able to deal with each one individually rather than...
And get them all
the best of everybody.
Focused on the same goal.
The Chicago Bulls have won the '96 NBA championship. Make it 4 in 6 years.
One season later, the Bulls would win their 5th title. But as they prepared to chase their second three-peat, contract disputes and questions over the long-term future of the team created an air of finality for one of the NBA's greatest dynasties.
How about when Phil, in the '98 season, and he said that this is the last dance?
And I hand out at the beginning of the season. I put in Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the last dance. Now there's a question mark behind it in this.
He knew it was the last minute for him. So when he said last dance, although we bought into it, it was somewhere deep inside this little corner. I'm saying, nah, this is not it. We're gonna win everything and then everybody's gonna be okay.
Guys, this is a scary situation. And this game should be dead meat.
And when Chicago had a chance to seal its 6th title, it seemed like the story was already written.
Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it.
Stolen by MJ. Bulls down 1.
Micheal Jordan, with time ticking down, providing us with one lasting memory.
17 seconds from championship number 6.
What about the last shot you ever took as a member of the Chicago Bulls? The last shot.
What was that shot?
Game 6.
Utah.
The Bulls can win it right here. The Bulls can win it. Unbelievable. 13 seconds left. Jordan left side.
I practice as if I'm playing in a game. So when the moment comes in the game, it's not new to me. That's the beauty of the game of basketball. That's the reason why you practice. That's the effort. So when you get to that moment, you don't have to think. Instinctively, things happen.
Jordan a drive. Hangs, fires, yes! The Bulls lead 87-86.
Micheal Jordan with 45 points.
You know, I think it was a very defining moment of what my career was in Chicago.
The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
If that's the last image of Micheal Jordan, how magnificent is it?
It goes back to the actual beginning. You know, my career actually began on a shot, you know, to win a championship in 1982. In essence of who Micheal Jordan became.
Jordan! Micheal Jordan!
And who Micheal Jordan was ended with that shot in 1998.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. What a finish.
I never gave up. I never gave up. Every time we were close, I knew we were going to do it. I knew it.
Despite bringing another championship to Chicago, Jordan's faint hope that it would keep the team from breaking up went unrealized. And the way it all ended still bothers him to this day.
It was a very sad situation because I never lost in the finals. I never knew what it felt like. At least if you're gonna be king of the hill,
be the king till you're not the king.
Until somebody knock you down, then you can shake the hand and say, you enjoy it. Now you're gonna see how difficult it is.
Right.
You know? But that never happened. Now we have to live the rest of our lives with this idea that, wow, we could have won 7, or we could have won 8, or we could have won 9. You know, the LeBron thing, but we were halfway there. So
right.
We could have done all that, you know, but for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be.
Can you believe it? 6 of them. 6 of them. Yes, sir. 6 of them. Now, y'all say whatever you want. They can't win till we quit.
Are you a Chicago Bulls fan? Then you're not going to hit that straight. Nope. Hooking? Yep. Hit a tree. Oh, came back.
No matter what he's doing, Michael Jordan's always been driven by only one thing: winning.
I got the coach, that means we get to go first.
Friend or foe, it's the challenge alone that fuels his competitive fire.
I'm losing, and now I'm dying over it. That's okay. When you guys get the hell out of here, maybe we can play some golf.
Who were some of the guys you enjoyed competing against, personally?
All the best. I mean, you know, Bird, Magic, Patrick. Whoever was considered an elite player, doesn't matter. You know, I enjoyed playing against them because they pushed me as a basketball player. That was one of the most beautiful things about the Dream Team, is that all these guys that I competed against each and every day, and they got me all flustered and all motivated.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
I'm the young guy with the elder statesman. These old guys, they got arthritis. They can't stand in one spot too long.
Thanks, Mike. Bye-bye, thank you.
The most telling night, when the torch was passed in Barcelona. You remember that?
I think about it, and every time I see Magic, every time I see Bird. Yeah, I remember the night that we were sitting there and drinking beers and just relaxing. And Magic started his whole thing.
Yes.
You know, you guys are new kids on the block, but we took it another level, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then this whole thing about him and I playing
The
one-on-one.
one-on-one. Who's gonna stop who?
I said, look, dude, slow up. Slow up now. You've been known as the best team player all along, all your career. I've been known as the best one-on-one player, and now we're gonna play against each other? You can't have no chance of stopping me. I got more chances of stopping you. That's how it all started,
Yeah.
you know, and then it got to, you know, team, you know, championships and team of the 80s. I said, well, this is the 90s, you know, and Bird, who's just totally subtle, just back and says, you know, Magic, we had our time. These are the new kids on the block. In essence, we just gotta step back, you know, and I said, if you don't, we're coming in your building, we're gonna come in your building, we're gonna prove the same thing. Either way, you're gonna learn it.
Clyde Drexler, who's the best? Michael Jordan or Clyde Drexler? You know, that was kind of a conversation during that time.
Well, it was the best two guards at that time. I wanted people to know the difference between me and Clyde. It was always a comparison.
Yes.
And I didn't want it to be a comparison. I wanted it to be totally different. I wanted people to see that on the highest stage.
Two superstars, Drexler and Jordan, have led these two teams to the finals.
Jordan again! Did you see that look? Michael indicating he can't believe it.
35 points, first game in the first half, making everything. That game. Everybody does that now. Gotta make a shot now. He's doing that. The same thing. They don't understand. The man had 35 points when he was doing this, not two shots that went in the basket. So it's like, I've seen so many people try to do the same thing. Now, I don't know what I'm doing. I just made 2 baskets. The man had 35 points.
A very special first half here in Chicago.
I had nothing else to do but that. I mean, when I said that, look, it's like I'm not in control here. It's like somebody's in my body and I'm making shots all over the place. You know, so what else can you do?
Whose game is it? It's Michael Jordan's game.
Tell us about your rivalry with the Knicks.
What rivalry?
That rivalry, man, I'm telling you, boy, that was a real rivalry.
This is a big, physical, wide New York team that plays you tough.
And back come the Bulls. Pippen, oh, he is ripped by Starks.
This has become a war.
Anybody that was trying to take something from us, that's a rivalry.
Michael Jordan and Xavier McDaniel having words.
Every game we play, we try to send a statement. You know, we're trying to make sure they don't gain anything on us.
Get to the loose ball, and he's bottled up Jordan with the recovery, and Jordan is fouled.
As long as Patrick was going to be there, as long as Oakley was going to be there, as long as Starks was going to be there, it's like fighting your big brother or little brother. You know, you got to let them know who you are. This is where you belong.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan! It counts.
I don't care where you think you are. This is where you belong.
Jordan!
And every game was like that, proving ground. You know, trying to gain that extra edge. And You know, went from coach to another coach, and the mentality never changed. It got higher and higher and higher.
That Van Gundy had said that Jordan uses friendships and stature to con some of his opponents.
You watch him game in and game out. He saddles up next to guys, he smiles at them, and then goes out there and kicks their ass, and they hug him after the game. Like that was some great thing that he got 45 on them, so I don't understand it.
Did you take it personally when Van Gundy called you a con man?
Yes. It rubbed me the wrong way then, and if I hear it now, it still rubs me the wrong way because that was never my intent. I was good friends with Oak. I was good friends with Patrick. But I'm not trying to con them to play a different style to play against me. I mean, that to me is like attacking my basketball skills as a sense of saying, only way you win is you make these guys think that you like them. No, I actually do like them. Oakley almost tried to take my head off every time we played, and then we go to dinner afterwards.
Right.
You know, he played me no different than if he was playing me if I did go to dinner or I didn't go to dinner. I felt like that was inappropriate for him to say something like that.
After all Van Gundy had said, Michael heard all the talk. Long jumper. 51, and he goes, yes! And he looks at Van Gundy when he does
it. I would never say I was cutthroat. I was a competitor. Cutthroat sounds like I'm a villain. I'm not. I'm a competitor to a point where if you're my opponent, if I knock you down, I'm not picking you up.
A good competitor always evaluates his opponent, and you understand for what he really is, but you never try to give him confidence. You try to take it at all times, and sometimes it's easier to take confidence and sometimes it's harder. But mentally, I gotta find a way, and sometimes you have to trick yourself.
Let's see if all that trash talking starts when it's 0-0 instead of 5-6 point lead. That's where it starts.
You have to look inside yourself and find the different types of challenges from game to game.
So you was gonna dunk on me? I wasn't trying to dunk you, man. I wasn't trying to dunk on you. My rookie year, man. I got you, didn't I? When? Your rookie year.
No,
me
Scotty
and Scotty.
Did.
Okay.
Scotty did in Chicago.
You know, I look at who I'm playing against, look at some of the things that now I can focus and pull out to get me ready for the game.
MJ. Oh, Harry did it! Michael shakes the finger. He finally got his dunk on Mount Matumbo.
That's how I got myself motivated, you know, but it wasn't the same every game. It was, you know, I had to trick myself. I had to, you know, more or less find a focus to go out and play at a certain level for whatever reason.
Kittles has it knocked away by Michael Jordan. Basket and a foul. Michael Jordan can give the Bulls a 3-point lead with a critical defensive play.
This whole thing about you practicing. I mean, if you talk to any of your teammates, they would say, even if they saw something in the game, it's like, shoot, you should have saw him Thursday.
You know what? I got to skin you all day.
To practice with you was like they had a game instead of a practice.
When I got to the pros with Kevin Lockery, you know, when I was drafted number 3, Kevin Lockery used to put me on the starting 5. We used to be killing the second 5. But he wanted to test me out. So let's say we're going to 8, and it could be 5-1 or 5-2 against the second team. And if you lose, you got to run. He would switch me in the middle of the game to the second team. And I'm saying, well, okay, he's trying to prove a point. Boom, we'll bounce back and win the game. Those are all training tools for me. And every day in practice was like that to me. It was a competition. So when the game comes, there's nothing that I haven't already practiced. It's a routine. You know, whatever happens in the game now, okay, I've done this before.
Jordan for the win. Got it! At the buzzer, he's done it again!
Was fear of failure a motivator?
I never feared about my skills, you know, because I put in the work.
Damn. Put him away, MJ.
Work ethic eliminates fear.
Yes.
You know, so if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls have won at the buzzer in Game 1.
All right, step back, please, step back. Hey, let's go, baby. This is the one. Let's do this.
We got to jump out of the blocks quick and be smart on the offensive end. Let's go, come on.
What time is it? Game time.
Can you tell me a little bit about Scottie Pippen and how that whole relationship evolved and how you pushed Scottie Pippen?
Well, not just push Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen pushed me. You know what I mean? It was this big brother, little brother scenario. I knew the hard work that it took to get to that level. And if we wanted to get from point A to point B to point Z, then I'm gonna have to pull this guy along. We're gonna have to find a way to coexist. We're gonna have to find a way to challenge each other.
To come and trap and then go. Scotty, if you're there, you go.
So, you know, it was that, me pulling him along.
Come on, man, let's go. Where you going?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
You hear that?
Come on.
Captain.
No.
Let's go.
Y'all miss out on this.
That's entertainment.
145.
To where, okay, if you're gonna play this game, you're gonna have to get like this.
You could have just spin around. I thought when I saw your fake, you thought that someone came over. Karl Malone was at the top doing this. Okay.
And the next thing you know, it's a tandem.
It's a 3-on-1 with only Best back, and Pippen slams it in his face.
You know, I don't think you're gonna have two players like that ever again that grew and became more successful together. And success started to, you know, circle themselves around the two of them.
Yeah. Woo! Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, Micheal Jordan.
After all is said and done, when you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, you seem to be as fiery and as competitive as ever. For a lot of your career, people never really got to know the real you.
Leroy Smith, he started the whole process for me because when he made the team and I didn't, I wanted to prove not just to Leroy Smith, not just to myself, but to the coach who actually picked Leroy over me. I wanted to make sure you understood you made a mistake, dude.
And I think for one of the few times that all of a sudden you just said, hey man, I'm just gonna tell it like it is.
I really wasn't letting my guards down. I was really explaining to people, you know, about my competitive nature.
Pat Riley, he slid a note saying, I enjoyed the competition, congratulations, but we will meet again.
And most people say that was the worst speech. Okay, that's from your perspective.
Right.
If you understand it from my perspective,
right,
then you understand. I saw Pat Riley, he said, I totally get it.
Right. It's your speech.
I totally understand it. You know, I go to my grave thinking, I say what I wanted to say, I'm not gonna change it. And if you don't think it was a great speech, that's what I felt.
One day you might look up and see me playing the game at 50. Oh, don't laugh. Don't that. Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much.
It's the 20th anniversary of the Dream Team. I was in Barcelona 20 years ago with the Dream Team. You know, there wasn't much competition then. You know, they were an amazing team, and in their prime, if they all played together in their prime, it'd be tough to beat them.
The Olympic team, did they call themselves the Dream Team? They called themselves the Olympic team publicly.
Oh, take who got you. Take who got you.
But they did say that they would have gave you guys a run for your money. What do you think about that?
I mean, giving a run for the money and actually winning, I mean, it's not a fair comparison.
USA, 1, 2, 3. USA.
And I know Kobe brought it up, and it was, that's his competitive drive, and I totally get it. You know, they probably couldn't. In all honesty, I'll give you a simple thing. Yeah, they are a better team, than all of us at 50 and 60 and 55 years old. They're much better than we are right now.
Yeah.
Right now, they're much better than we are.
You guys might give them a run.
Yeah, we might give them a run. They definitely kill us right now. You know, we're 50 and 55 and, you know, whatever our ages may be. They're a much better team.
MJ may sound like a grumpy old man, but the truth is, he admires the standard bearers of today's game.
Kobe or LeBron?
Well, I mean, that's a tough one. I would say Kevin Durant. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, in terms of dominance of the game of basketball at this stage, is LeBron. Championship-wise, Kobe Bryant. He wants it so bad and he's willing to go to the extreme, you know, guarding the point guards at the age of 34, playing 38 minutes, 40 minutes. That's ludicrous. I think this is what he's battling with. It is what it is. He's cursed as much as I am. And if you had to pick, you know, between the two, that'd be a tough choice. I mean, but 5 beats 1.
And Bryant loving the feeling of being a 5-time champ.
What about Kevin Durant? What do you think about Kevin Durant?
Yeah, you talk about these two and you battling who's the best, and Kevin Durant is going to sneak in the back door.
Here is Durant for the win! Kevin Durant has won it at the buzzer!
Jordan is the majority owner of the Charlotte Bobcats now, and clearly the competitive drive that has defined his career doesn't die easily.
You flirted around with 50 years old and you're going to come back again. Let's kill that right now.
Look, I flirted around that moment, that night.
Yeah.
I was feeling good. That's in 2009.
Reality.
That's what, 4 years ago, you know, so that's why I was 46. I may have been able to play by then, but since then I've gone through a transition period. It's called time, age, weight. You know, I haven't picked up a ball. You know, I joke around, I kid around a lot, you know. No, I'm not going to come back at the age of 50. Although in my mind, my competitive mind is always going to believe that I can play the game of basketball right now.
It's hard to believe Michael is 50, and it's even harder to believe it's been a decade since he left the game for good. But in that time, he's been able to put his accomplishments in perspective.
I'm sure that each one of your 6 NBA championships have a special place. Is there one that matters a little more than the other? Is one that's really special out of those 6?
The Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship. The Chicago Bulls have won for the 2nd straight season.
The 3rd world championship in a row.
Make it 4 in 6 years. Their 5th championship.
The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
That's tough, you know, because it's like, you know, if I had 6 kids, now you ask me which one of those kids is my favorite. You know, that's tough, you know, and they each got different personality, you know. If I had to pick one, I would say, the 4th.
Michael, I know that the first one was sweet, but how much sweeter was this one?
Well, you know, I can't even put it in words. My Father's Day, what it means to me. I know he's watching. This is for Daddy.
This is the final question. Can you repeat the following after me and then fill in the blank? The greatest thing about the game of basketball is...
The greatest thing about the game of basketball to me is the passion, and the love that I have for it. You know, because when you have love for anything, you'll go to the extreme to maintain that love. That's what love does. It love drives you to do everything you need to maintain that connection. If I didn't have the love for the game of basketball, all the things that I just panned out to you in my career would have never been achievable for me. But it was truly my love for the game that kept me pushing to be the best basketball player that I could be. To be the best at anything, you gotta have a certain love for that to make you overcome all the obstacles that's gonna be thrown in your way.
Jordan a drive. Hangs. Fires. Yes!
That's what the game of basketball has been for me.
And as for Micheal Jordan, all the superlatives have been exhausted and almost all applied. His heart, his athletic integrity, every bit as impressive as his artistry.
Can we do this again when we're 70? No, no, I'll be too old.
Don't call me no more. Y'all better play this tape back.
That's right.
In 20 years, it could change.
We have it all
It's going to be, man. Next thing you know, I took off from the top of the key.
That is a wrap. My brother. My brother.